All right, welcome back in Pirate Radio Live. Special guest in Studio C today. Got Dr. Chris McDowell from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. They are the official team's physicians of the ECU Pirates. Dr. McDowell, thanks for taking some time and joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
You've been in Greenville for a while. You've got you guys handle the team when unfortunately injuries happen, but that's life number one. That's sports number two, and you help get the players back up and running. You also help obviously the general public here in Eastern North Carolina get well as well. What's it like being the team physician for the ECU Pirates and just being the doctor in general that helps people get better?
Yeah, I've been here about 5 years now. Our practice has certainly been taking care of East Carolina a lot longer than that, and we've been in the official capacity for at least 7 or 8 years, if not a little bit longer. But certainly have had a long-standing relationship with our practice over at Ortho East and East Carolina, and they've been good to us. And it's exciting. It's never the same. Each time we go out there, it's always something a little bit different. It really just keeps us involved, and it's fun. Having a little bit of a background in myself, I played football in college over at Citadel, and so it's allowed me to stay around athletics, and it's been fun being around the athletes.
Do you remember when you were playing at the Citadel? Did you ever have an injury and someone came and helped you? And did that ever inspire you to be in the position you are today?
Fortunately, I got lucky. I never went down on the field. Certainly spent a long time in the training room. Every day I was in there, and so a lot of respect to those guys. We get some of the credit, but the athletic trainers certainly are really in the trenches in the day-to-day aspect of getting them back and once we get a good diagnosis. Fortunately, I was able to get through college without any major injury, just some bumps and bruises.
Give us a little history of your career, Citadel football player, and then I know you've spent some time with the Boston Red Sox and stuff, but kind of bridge the gap here of where Chris McDowell has come from to where he is now.
Yeah, I always had an interest in medicine. My mom was a nurse anesthetist, so she was always involved in putting people to sleep, and so that's what sparked my interest. And then as I kind of listened to her talk about what she did, I knew I wanted to be somewhere in that realm. And as my sports career kind of took off, I started paying more attention and would see athletes get hurt and injured. And really I found myself kind of guided towards, they got hurt. When did they come back and how did that happen? And so that really just sparked my interest in like a sports medicine aspect of being an orthopedic surgeon. And so really got interested in not only the injury, but the surgery and the rehab after that. And so once I finished playing at Citadel, worked for a couple years just as I was getting in through medical school, went to medical school in Spartanburg. That brought me to my residency in South Jersey. And we had a good opportunity up there working with some of the Rothman physicians who were kind of the Philadelphia sports team physicians and a lot of other good local high schools around that area. And that led me to a orthopedic sports fellowship at UMass. And with that, we were with some of the smaller schools in town, but also the AAA Red Sox, and we were there day to day. So all aspects of professional, collegiate, and even the high school athletes. It just, you see a different spectrum, but everyone's kind of the same.
We always talk about game day with coaches and players, but what's game day like for the team physician? And when you start to what I know you don't want to work that day,
Correct,
but
yes.
What's a day like for you on a game day?
I tell people all the time I much prefer just standing there watching the game close up and never having to step on the field or the court. Typically our game day, we're usually there about 2 hours beforehand, making sure there's nothing that we need to be addressed before the game or reevaluating any of the players that may have gotten hurt since we had last seen them. And then we're there kind of at the players and coaches beck and call. If something happens, we're running out on the field to evaluate them and make some game time decisions. And oftentimes it's just, hey, football's a violent sport. It's let's make sure everything's okay. Let's check them out in the tent. 90% of the time it's hey, you're okay. Let's get back out there. We'll reevaluate you later. Every once in a while we have to make some real decisions, and unfortunately that means the athlete's not going back on the field. But usually it's something pretty, we trying to protect the athletes from themselves, and that's usually what we're doing.
Who are you communicating with during the game when there's an injury that does happen?
Yeah, most of our communications with the athletic training staff, and so if you ever see us running out on the field, there's usually one or two athletic trainers that are in front of us, and they're kind of leading the charge, leading the evaluation, and then we're there to kind of supplement it. They certainly spend every day with these athletes. They know their ins and outs. They know their injury history backwards and forwards, and so we're relying on them to give us a pretty fast history if they've hurt their knee before in the past, and kind of where we're at, and we're evaluating it in real time and making some decisions.
Do all the players, I guess, they know you're the team physician? Are they coming up and asking you questions
Not,
like
yeah.
at times, like saying, "Hey, take a look at this"?
Yeah, not typically. I mean, they're all pretty good about going through the proper channels. But we're around a lot, and they get to know us. And I try to get out to practice whenever I can, partly because I enjoy football, but also want the players to be comfortable with us being around and recognizing that person that's coming and talking to them and kind of potentially giving them some hard information. And so it's you got to build that trust factor really quick, and so just with the level of just being aware of the person that who I am, knowing that I'm there not to hurt them and want only the best for them as an athlete.
You have one of those jobs that can be really cool, really fun, a lot of stuff the average person doesn't get to experience, but then it can turn to no fun really fast. How do you balance that?
Yeah, unfortunately, there is the hard part of our job, and you just have to be honest with the patient, and not only with the athlete when we're doing it in real time, but certainly even when we're in the clinic and seeing other people. Some of these injuries are pretty devastating, and we obviously focus a lot on sports because that's important, but then we see these mechanics who their day to day is really relying on their shoulder. So if they have a shoulder and they're out for 4 months, they're not working. So it's a tough conversation, but we just have to be honest with them. We got to let them know, this is why we're doing it, and give them all their options, and know that we have their best interest, and typically people respond pretty well.
Dr. Chris McDowell with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center, our guest today. One of the big injuries that happened recently that really impacted the NFL was Bo Nix when he kind of got hurt. When you're as a sports fan, you're seeing sports injuries happen and stuff like that. That was obviously knocked him out of the championship game, and then probably prevented maybe the Broncos from going to the Super Bowl. How do you watch sports?
Yeah, that was a tough one, especially if you're a Broncos fan or anti-Patriots fan. But I watch and you look for that, and you see kind of the sideline reporters do a pretty good job of sneaking in some things and getting some information that you don't always see. But always, if I see an injury go down, I'll pay a little bit more attention to kind of what the person on the field is, how they're evaluating them, and you can kind of get some tells when they're walking off and how their body language is. And sometimes you can say, well, you can look at them and say they're probably not going to come back. But certainly, if I see something, I'm generally following up the next day. It's tough to get some information just when you're not intimately involved, but you can kind of piece some things together and certainly can read between a few lines. And so, and that's kind of what brought me to this to begin with. Is I found myself doing that when I was in high school, and certainly still kind of do that now. If someone gets hurt, I'm kind of following and see when they come back.
Dr. McDowell, what are some things at Orthopedics East that can help the general public out there that, obviously people not obviously getting paid to play at East Carolina or pay professional sports, but there's a lot of pickleball courts that are full. There's a lot of just runners in the community. There's just a lot of people just living life that get injured.
Yeah.
So what are some tips that you could help out everybody else out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we certainly, I generally, when I see someone in the office and they have an injury, I explain things in athletic terms because that's easy to relate to, but everyone's not the classic athlete that we see on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever day the game may be, but they're trying to get back to work, trying to get back to life. And so the biggest thing that we kind of preach to them is some injury prevention. You want to really make sure you're warmed up. You want to make sure you actually do the proper cool down type activities and stretch. And then, being as strong as you can is the best thing for you. And that's different from everybody. But you don't want to go from 0 to 100, and you want to work your way up. So the stronger you are going into something, the better you are, and the less likely you're going to have some sort of overuse injury. And just take care of yourself and be honest with yourself and make sure you listen to your body. If it hurts, don't do it.
Listen to your body. You guys are great over at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. So great to work with. From from the front of the house to the back of the house. You guys really take great care of your patients, and I've used your services through myself and my family, and sometimes you can't have a comeback unless you have a setback, and it's just I mean, it happens, and that's why you guys are there to help people back.
Yeah, and we certainly appreciate that. We don't want anybody to ever get hurt, but we do want the public to know that we're out there and we'll certainly have your best interest, because we know that people have passion for things that other people may feel that's like, why would you want to go run 50 miles, or why would you want to do, play pickleball all day? But that's what makes you happy, and ultimately that's what we're there for, to get you back to doing what you want to do and be happy.
Sports season is a year-round, 24/7. You feel like everybody, even if it's not in-game season, people are always working, and people are always trying to have fun. But you guys do a great job. Any last tips that you can think of? I love the part where you said you got to listen to your body, because a lot of people don't ever really listen to their body. They talk themselves out of their maybe the aches and pains they're having.
Yeah, usually it's like the patient comes in and say, well, I just went one more time and I did my one last rep, and I knew I was a little fatigued, and then here we are. And so, I mean, be honest with yourself. I mean, we're certainly not there to try to stop you from reaching your goals, but just make sure you do them smart, and if something happens, we're happy to take care of you.
Well, thank you for all you guys do for our community. Thank you for all you do for Pirate Radio, and of course, the official team physicians of East Carolina. Keeping the Pirates up and running, which is important, because there's a lot of people that are passionate about seeing healthy Pirates do great things on and off the field and basketball courts as well.
Absolutely, and like I said earlier, the best game for me is the one I just sit there and watch and enjoy it like the rest of everybody else, and just get a little bit closer view. But nothing makes me happier when I don't have to step onto the field and I can just watch and enjoy a Pirate victory.
Yeah, absolutely. When we're seeing you on TV, it's not a good thing, or seeing you on the field. But hey, we know it's a good thing, because you're gonna help them get them back and get them healthy. But Dr. McDowell, we appreciate your time today, and of course, tell everybody where they can find Orthopedics East, or if they need more information.
Yep. So orthoeast.com is our website. We certainly have Instagram. And other socials that we can add into the comments. And our phone number is 252-757-2663. We have online abilities to make appointments without any type of referral. And so you can get all that on the website, or just call the office.
Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center, Dr. Chris McDowell, thank you for being here today, and look forward to catching up with you again soon when there's another, maybe a sports injury topic. I'm sure there's going to be plenty to talk about later this year.
Oh, absolutely. Looking forward to it.